Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer, and today is Monday, and on Monday we show our makes for the past however many days. Generally, it's the past 7 days. But because nothing has been on a normal schedule since December, I don't know how long it's been since I made these items, but I made them. So you probably saw them recently, but and I don't remember how much of these you saw, or what you saw, or when you saw them, or where you saw them. But we're gonna go with the flow. Now, the dogs are acting a fool. Ben Germain is staring at me through the door, otherwise known as Bentley. And I hear a ruckus happening outside. Oh, garbage day. It's garbage day. So we'll see if they actually pick up our garbage, because it looks like they bypassed our house. Is one of those wonderful things. Like, I grew up with city trash, so like part of the taxes paid for the city to come pick up your trash, and they were like clockwork. They didn't play, and that was in the ghetto. Now here we have to pay for our own trash company. We have to pick our own trash company and pay for our own trash company, and it's hit or miss if they're gonna come, when they're gonna come. Like after the day after Christmas, we were on the schedule to have our garbage picked up. Well, you know, after Christmas there's a lot of garbage. There's boxes, there's gift tags, there's gift wrappings, there's all of the things. There was all the Amazon boxes that needed to be recycled and picked up, right? They didn't come until a week later. And I'm like, okay, but we were on the schedule. It said on their website they were coming. Like, all right. So, yeah. What have I been making? I've been making a mess. And I probably will have some more things by the time this video airs, because I'm pre-recording it. But I made a couple of things. And I don't remember if I showed you this or not. This is a gorgeous hat that I knit. I've been making mostly small things, mostly hats. This yarn is in my scrap bin. It was in my scrap bin to begin with. I caked it up. I'm like, I'm gonna knit a hat. That should probably use the whole, it's a partial skein. This is coffee beans from, I don't know where the label went, because it's not in there anymore. Coffee, jelly beans? It's either coffee beans or jelly beans, and it's either by Cascade or Plymouth. I can't remember. But this yarn is so pretty. And look at the way it knits up. I knit this with the idea of putting it on Little Man, because he's got this colored eyeballs. His eyes are really pretty dark blue. Juju's eyes are more of a light blue. But I really like it almost looks patterned. I don't know. I just really like the way this hat knit up. And I've been getting asked a lot, like, what knit pattern are you using? I don't use a pattern when I knit hats. I just knit them. The number is never the same. I do generally a 2x2 rib, so that because I do a 2x2 rib, which is knit 2, purl 2 around, I need the starting chain to be a multiple of 4. And depending on what yarn I'm using, what size yarn I'm using, if it's a multiple of 4, I also try to make it either a multiple of 6 or 8, which you have to calculate, like, because that will depend on how many spokes I have when I do a decrease. So there's 1, 2. I think this is a 6 spoke. And yeah, I just knit. I do however thick I want the ribbing to be. The ribbing is usually 1 inch or 2 inches. And then from the top to where I start decreasing is usually around 8 inches. I think this one is probably 7 inches because it's for Little Man. He's got a little bit of a smaller head than me. And then I do a quick decrease. Call that a day. See, we did that. And then I made this hat because I really needed some bright yarn in my life. And this is the Sisu hat. And the reason it's called Sisu is because I did it in this colorway for the tutorial, and it reminded me of dragon. And so I asked people, like, give me a dragon name. And so I got Felcor, and there was a bunch of names for dragons that I should do the tutorial name under. And when someone said Sisu, I was like, okay, Sisu is from Raya. What is the name of that movie? Raya and the Last Dragon, something. Anyway, Sisu is the dragon in that movie. It's a Disney movie. It's a really cute movie. Sisu is pretty much these colors right here. And so it's like, that does look like Sisu. So this is the Sisu hat. The Sisu dragon hat, or I don't remember exactly what I called it. The reason I did this is because it's been dark a lot. I'm tired of the dark weather. I'm tired of the dark everything. So I needed some bright colors. So I pulled out the neons and I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. This is the Sweet Roll Vivid. You should have already seen this tutorial probably 2 weeks ago. The Neon Signs colorway, and I had a little bit left over. I had scrap balls, but I honestly think these are 2 different colorways. I think that this one is the Lava Lamp colorway, and this is left over from this hat, but like they kind of go. And I just made cute little fingerless gloves with the leftover scrap balls that I had in my scrap bucket. Do they match? No, but like they're cute, right? So I made that set. And then this is the Sisu hat for the tutorial. And it has not really been, this one's a little bit snugger. This one fits little man's head perfect. A little bit tight on me. I probably used a different hook size for the tutorial, but I mean, it all works out. It's an average size hat. I don't remember this color. Dragonfly, I think, is this colorway, which is beautiful. And I was going back and forth. I was like, okay, but do I want it to be like a peacock name or a dragon name? Because I could have called it Peacock too, something Peacock. But Mr. Cinnamon was like, no, that's dragon. So we went with dragon, and then one of the people in the Facebook group picked the name Sisu for me. It's got a bunch of different types of stitches. So it's got front post, double crochet, it's got the ridge stitch, which I don't know, it's not really the ridge, I call it the ridge stitch because that's what I like calling it. And then this, whatever this stitch is. And it's got another ridge row here, and then I did the star stitch here. So I did that. And then the other thing, I gotta turn the camera to show you. I made a table cover for this table. Previously, when I had my Christmas decorations up in here, I used, this is the Christmas tree skirt pattern we did for Christmas. I had this on the table draped around it like it was a Christmas tree. And it made a really pretty sparkly tablecloth. And so, and it worked because this table has a big hole in the middle because it's meant for the Addy machine. Mr. Cinnamon made that for me. So I wanted another table skirt on here, so I just made a square blanket. Basically the same design that I did the tree skirt out of. And I made that, and that took me about 3 days to finish. I also didn't show you guys my cute pillow. So that makes sense. This is probably the leftover from that, not the hat. It just occurred to me right this second that this is the leftover from that, and I thought it was the leftover from the hat. So it is 2 different colorways. It's all good. It's all good. This is almost the same pattern as, it's almost the same pattern as the headrest cover that I did for the, remember I did a headrest cover for the cars. It's like, it's almost the same design, except instead of doing granny stitches, I did the stitch where it's double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. And then I just knit it until it was big enough to squeeze around my pillow. And then I laced it over because I needed the back to be open because this strap is what connects it to my chair. And I'm like, that's such a cute little pop of color. Let's see if I can get it back on. Boop. And I got a cute little pillow back there. Not that I ever use it, but like, it's there if I need a rest. And it's also a cute pop of color in the background. Like, it cheered me up. It was one of those things where I was like, it's been gloomy, the weather's been crap. I've been in the house a lot. I haven't been getting any sunshine, no vitamin D. Like, I don't like being locked in the house. I don't like not having sunshine. So I needed to work with some neon yarns, and I have almost all the colors in the Sweet Roll Vivid. So I started off with making the pillow, and then I moved on to the hat, which created the hat tutorial, which led to this. And so, I mean, it makes me happy, right? And then I actually did I think it was Thursday's video, where I finished that table skirt while we were chatting about mostly the dogs. But we did a little crochet and chat, and I finished the table skirt. I think it's so cute. I obviously am not done decorating in here for Valentine's Day because I don't have the time right now, but I just think that's pretty, and it's sparkly, and it like really, once I take my garbage out, which is right underneath that table, because the garbage needs to go out, it's gonna look really nice in here. And I have some yarn that needs to be put away. My background looks far more cluttered, like in the camera view. Like it looks cluttered, then I turn around, I was like, oh, there's not that much over there. It's a dog bed. This is getting ready to be packed up with a project. And then that is balls that need to be put somewhere else because it's stuff that Mr. Cinnamon bought for me. But yeah, that's what I've been making for the past couple of weeks. I'm sure by the time this video airs, I will have a lot more done. But a lot of these videos over the past several weeks have been really pre-recorded and uploaded so that A, you guys have content, but B, I also have a financial stream coming in while I'm taking time off to spend with my family. This will be the last pre-recorded video you guys see from maybe tomorrow. I don't know if there's going to be a video tomorrow. Just because I have a lot of things that I need to do this week. We're going to be coming home. That means I need to unpack and do laundry, and I need to take my niece back to college, and I need to get little man back situated with school. And like there's a lot going on this week. It has been just go, 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 run, run, run. I've been just non-stop for weeks now. And I'm actually recording this on Mr. Cinnamon's birthday, so I'm recording this on January 2nd. He's at work currently. So I've pre-recorded out a ton of videos. I have just been working and working and working. And I have no regrets about that. Like I don't feel overwhelmed. I don't feel overstressed out. I don't feel like there's a physical toll on my body. And usually when I work too hard, my body's like, all right, we're done. We're done. We're going to go lay down and be in pain. I will have some sort of flare up or something. And while my hands are trying to flare up because it's winter, knock on wood, I pray to God they don't flare up. I just need to be really careful and keep them moisturized, which is why you will always have a bottle of lotion underneath your camera. Always. And you will quite frequently see me lathering up just to avoid. I'm finally healing from the Red Heart incident though. That was a really big, like I used Red Heart. I can't use Red Heart. It like made a big old hole in my hand. Hang on, Juju is buying a cake for Mr. Cinnamon at the grocery store. She asked which one I want. His favorite cake is German chocolate cake. And he started arguing. And I know that he's sweet and he means well. He's all, don't buy me cake unless it's gluten-free. And I looked at him, I was like, why? And he's all, because I want you to have some of my birthday cake. I was like, I am still a diabetic. I'm not eating cake for your birthday. I don't like cake enough. Like I don't like cake. I don't ever get cake for my birthday. I usually get like a cheesecake, or I have gotten a pie for my birthday. I'm not a big fan of pie either. But I don't like cake. And to buy him a gluten-free cake for his birthday so that I can have a bite is not... So I had to argue with him. I was like, I know that you mean well, but don't get a cake so that I can eat it, because I'm not going to eat it. I'm not putting that much sugar into my body. It's not going to happen. I will have a little bit of sugar-free ice cream with him. I will absolutely do that. I'm not buying him a less than delicious gluten-free cake for him. Because gluten-free cakes are expensive, and it's really hard to find a tasty gluten-free cake. Especially German chocolate, and German chocolate is his favorite. So I know by the time you see this, it'll be have been like 8 days ago, but it's what's happening currently in my life. I told her to buy him the bigger cake. He can have sugar, I can't. So I'm gonna let him enjoy it. I ordered him a Christmas gift and it's not gonna be here for a couple of days. And I feel bad because I ordered it in more than enough time, but it's on a truck somewhere in California. It's nowhere near getting delivered. And I told him, I was like, I'll give you a picture of what I bought you, but you can't have it. And then, although I purchased him something for his birthday from Little Man that he wanted. They have these lights on, and it's a tailgate light, so it plugs into like the tow hitch, but it's like his truck is a Dodge Ram, so it's a Ram head, and it lights up, it connects to the brake lights. And he wanted one of those, and so I bought that, and that's technically from Little Man, but I'm the one that bought it. I told Little Man it was from him. So yeah, I hope he has a nice birthday. He's always been screwed on his birthday because his birthday is right after Christmas. His mom, since I have known him, has not called him a single time and wished him a happy birthday. In 24 years, has not wished him a happy birthday on his birthday, not once. I know that one year she called him because, and this was so stupid, his brother was arguing with his mom and told her that she was a bad mom. And she called Mr. Cinnamon on his birthday to make sure she wasn't a bad mom. Which he's not going to tell her because he's not that kind of person. That maybe you weren't the best mom. No, Mom, I understand. Like, you had a hard time. And he, like, comforted her. And then she's all, oh, by the way, happy birthday. Grandma has never missed a single birthday of either of my kids or Mr. Cinnamon. Not once. Like, she's amazing. Not once. She either calls or sends a card or both. Never once has missed a single birthday. She's got a lot of grandkids and a lot of great grandkids. And she's got a couple of grandkids. And she knows every single one of them's birthdays. They all get acknowledged on their birthday and at Christmas time. And I don't know how she does that because my grandpa was not like that. My grandpa had... So, my mom was one of 10 children. And my grandfather, which is the only grandfather I ever knew growing up, because my dad's dad died and my dad's mom was not in the picture. My mom's mom died when I was 1.5, and all that was left was my mom's dad. And he lived down the street and he was not at all a grandfather to us. When we were real little, my mom, like after my grandma died, my mom stepped up and would do the grocery shopping for our house and his house. Including, he had grown men, children living with him. My uncles still lived there. They were grown adults. My mom would do all the grocery shopping for both households. She would take my grandpa, and he lived to be 94. He was always of mind and body, able to do these things himself. He was not at any way unable to do these things for himself. He was not. He chose to let my mom do all of it. So when we were real little, she would take him and she would make a list for him, and they would buy things for all of the grandchildren. And like the kids got kind of ignored for the sake of the grandchildren, because my grandfather was not wealthy. He was a retired electrician. He worked on the docks. And he had a lot of kids, and he had a lot of adult kids mooching off him as adults. So he did not have money. Okay? He did not. So he would buy like little things for everybody, and everybody would get one. And then one year I was about 7. And my mom sat us down and she said, Papa's not going to buy for you for Christmas anymore. He has decided to only buy 4. And he picked which grandchildren he was going to buy for. And my mom was still doing the shopping and the wrapping of all of his presents and taking them back to his house and putting them under his tree for him so that he could give it to his favorites. He did the same thing with his children. Like, he had favorite children and favorite grandchildren, and the rest got ignored. So the only grandparent I've ever had that was a real grandparent was Grandma and Grandpa. Chris's grandparents. And she's never missed Mr. Cinnamon's anything. She flew out to Michigan when he graduated college the first time. He's had a couple of degrees since then, but her and Grandpa flew out, and she made sure Mr. Cinnamon's mom was there. Because she wasn't there, Mr. Cinnamon's mom was not there for his high school graduation. Like, we have really messed up families, guys. I don't know why I'm getting into all of that. So anyway, Mr. Cinnamon is used to being ignored for his birthday, or not really, nobody paid attention to it. And for years, I didn't work, or when I worked, my entire paycheck went to him so he could pay the bills. Because he's the one who's in charge of the bills. Because he's the breadwinner. He's the one who is always taking care of everything. Even when I worked, I was not making... I cleaned offices, I cleaned jails, I cleaned out the cells at the jails, I cleaned the police stations, I cleaned fire department. Like, I was a cleaner for a couple of years there. And when I got pregnant with Juju, I actually quit the job because they put my health at risk. I had already had a miscarriage while working for this cleaning company, and I was at risk, and they knew this. I was actually good friends with the boss, I thought. And when I was pregnant with Juju, I was cleaning a doctor's office, and they had a mercury spill in the office. So OSHA shut them down. Everybody in the office had to be evacuated, and they had to have a proper cleanup because there was a mercury spill. That doctor office still had us come in there and clean, knowing they had an OSHA spill. They just said, stay out of this one specific room, and didn't say why. They didn't tell us there was a mercury spill. And Mr. Cinnamon still went in that room and took the garbage out, even though he wasn't supposed to, because there was mercury in the garbage can. And I realized at that point, like, they were not looking out for their employees. And so I decided my baby's health is not worth risking. I had to go to my doctor and get testing and everything. And my doctor's like, unless you came in direct contact with the mercury, you're probably not at risk, but like, we'll still check your levels. We'll still do this and that. And then the symptoms of mercury poisoning were like just crazy effects, dude. And so I decided at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm not working for this company anymore. I'm done. I am going to take the rest of my pregnancy off. And then me and Mr. Cinnamon decided together that I was going to raise our own kids. We were not going to put our kids in daycare. If we needed to sacrifice to do so, we were going to do that. And it was a really hard couple of years because of those sacrifices, but I raised my kids and I have no regrets. None whatsoever. But he's always been the one who pays the bills, and he's the one, it was very much 50s housewife style, and I am perfectly okay with the way it was. I'm not okay with that anymore. Because mommy's got her own money, I got my YouTube money, and I make sure that I don't want to have to ask for anything ever again. There was a time where it was like, if I needed personal things, I had to ask, do we have the money for me to go buy these things? I had to ask, do we have the money for me to buy you a Christmas present? Do we have the money for me to buy you a birthday present? And usually the answer to the birthday present was no, we don't have the money, because he spent it on Christmas, or we spent it on Christmas, and he did not save anything extra for his birthday because he was used to not having a birthday. And that always made me feel bad year after year after year after year. And if I had money for his birthday, it's because I hid it away from something else I was supposed to spend money on, and it was never anything like good. You know, it was like I would make him a homemade cake, which he appreciated, but I'd rather buy him a cake because I don't like baking. And we made do, but I always felt bad because I always had birthday presents and he never did. And it's just the way that our family functioned for a long time. And now that I have my own YouTube money, he's still uncomfortable with me spoiling him, but he spoiled me for years, and I just want to do back for him. So he's actually, I'm going to tell you what I bought him, okay? I bought him a cover for the bed of his truck. It's like a fold up you know, the covers, because he wants to use his truck to take stuff back and forth to the dump, to like haul stuff. Well, we're always also like, we can't travel because we can't throw our luggage in the back of his truck, and my van needs tires and brakes. And I would love to take his truck on the trip, but we can't put our luggage in the back because like it'll blow out. So we both were talking about it. I was like, it would be really nice to have a cover. And he was like, he picked out a really cheap, like the cheapest ones that they had on the market. I was like, no, I ordered him a little bit nicer one than what he wanted. Because I don't want the material ones that could rip. I wanted like a hard one. And so I ordered him a cover for his truck, the bed of his truck. So, and it will benefit all of us, because like he could put stuff back there and we can cover it, or like we can take the truck and go pick up my niece and she could throw her stuff in the bed of the truck instead of stacking it around her in the back seat. So that's what I'm waiting on. But he's not used to me. He's a little bit uncomfortable with me spending any amount of money on him, let alone a couple $100s for a truck thing. But I feel good being able to spoil him. I feel good being able to buy him things that he wants but he won't buy himself. And he was a little bit upset with me. He's all, but you bought me enough for Christmas. I'm like, it's your birthday, shut up. You don't have to say my money. And that's a weird thing in itself, because for so long it was our money, but really it was his money. Even when I was working, I signed my paycheck over to him and did not ask where the money went, because I knew he was paying bills with it. It was not a question. It was my way of contributing to the family. And now I have no problem still with my YouTube money contributing to the household. No problem whatsoever. A lot of it does go to the household. You guys know I bought the couch, right? But I'm really, really careful with making sure I have a fund for holidays, birthdays. And little man is getting real confused now, because he thinks that everything that he gets is from mommy, because I buy a lot of the fun stuff while Mr. Cinnamon pays the bills. So like if I want to go somewhere fun, I'm like, hey, we're going here, and daddy doesn't have a say because I'm paying for it, you know. I mean, I don't put it that way, but they know that the fun stuff is coming from mommy's bank account and daddy pays the bills. So for Christmas, little man kept saying, thank you, mommy, so much for this. Thank you, mommy, so much for this. Like, and he was thanking me. I was like, that's from daddy too. Like, that's from daddy. Christmas is mommy and daddy together, and it's mostly daddy. So like, you think daddy too. It's not just mama. Juju must be home from the grocery store. Dogs are all barking. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. That'll be it for today's Monday video. Like I said, I don't know if there's going to be a video tomorrow. I just have to kind of play everything by ear and figure out what's happening. And I'm probably going to need a day or two off of doing nothing before we get back to recording again, because it has absolutely been intense. But I'm going to let you go, and I will see you in the next one whenever that is. Bye, guys.